Gen X grew up on late-night warnings.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Scared, straight.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
And were inspired by movies that defined a generation.
We were all pretty bizarre. Some of us are just better at hiding it, that's all.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I feel the need for speed.
We found our attitude in comedy.
I'm Gumby, damn it.
You see that sign? No shirt, no shoes, no dice.
Right. Learn it. Know it. Live it.
And our identity in pop culture.
I want my MTV!
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV.
What you talking about, Willis?
Keep your feet in the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
This is Gen X Men with Bill Rowland and Gary Dollarhide.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Episode 28, Bill Rowland, Gary Dollarhide. Welcome in, everyone, the Gen X Men podcast. And Gary is back at his homestead in what I'm going to call Central Maine because I'm a snob. I don't think that's Northern Maine. Northern Maine is way up there, but you're in Central Maine. How was the move? We'll get that out of the way right off the top.
It was 2 days of hard work and heartbreak. You just don't realize how much stuff you have until you move.
Right.
And we weren't moving a whole household. This is just, hey, we're going away for a few months and coming back. And it took a U-Haul trailer, the Jeep, and my vehicle to get everything back. So, and now trying to find homes and places for every little thing. And I go, why did we buy this again? Why did we think this was necessary? And yeah, so it's the aftermath of a move that we're going through right now.
Oh, trust me, I get it. I moved like 5 times in less than 3 years, so I completely understand. Now, like you, I wasn't moving a whole house; it was just moving me.
Mm-hmm.
But going from one place to another and having that in this garage and this basement, it's not fun.
No, I was telling Susan, I said my dream is to live in a gym bag, like everything that's important that I need is just in that gym bag, so I can pick up and just go. And there's,
right. There you go. Make yourself a little bug out bag.
A bug out bag. Yeah. Constant bug out. That's the world I want to live in.
And then when the zombie apocalypse comes, you're ahead of the game. You're in front of everybody. or when the aliens show up later this summer,
Right. Because we're starting the hornet's nest, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, they're getting off that planet again.
That's right. They got to stop doing that. But we'll talk about that again. It's April 2nd as we record this 2026 episode number 28. Halfway, actually more than halfway to a full year of episodes. So that's exciting, I guess. Yesterday was one of my least favorite days of the year. April 1st, April Fool's Day. And it's not because I get sucked into all the different fake stories and everything else. It's because it has become trite. Everybody is out there trying to do, whether it's brands, whether it's schools, universities, whatever. Everybody's trying to, we've got the greatest April Fool. Like
and everybody else.
Yes. Like who's falling for this stuff anymore? Yeah. Because immediately if you see something, especially online, at least you should, although I guess most people still quickly will repost something on X or Instagram where they, I can't believe that. It's like, why don't you do a little bit of research? Like take 30 seconds and go, is this actually happening? Is this
instant
really
society,
happening?
Bill? Instant society. I mean, we've been dealing with this. I mean, with the advent of social media, like you'd see things posted and then you got to question it, whether it's real or not, right? A couple times and then you go, oh, this is all, and it just snowballs and this is fake and this isn't real. And someone's just saying this, and not even under an April Fool's concept, right? We're just seeing so much things out there being posted and said that aren't real that, I, for one, glad that I didn't spend a lot of time online yesterday because of the move. The few minutes I did just to kind of check in on some things, I just said, oh God, I'm putting it away, because every other post was someone being cute. Like you said, they've come up with this next best. This is the great prank. And then you just at one after the other. And it's just like, I'm just walking away right now. Maybe it's because we're Gen X skeptical, but yeah.
You know what? I was going to say, what it is we just, it's our generation just like, no, we were fooled too many times when we were younger kids, when when you grow up in that kind of stuff. Because, the Sports Illustrated, when they did Syd Finch, one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. It was a fantastic one. And we got fooled by it. I remember, I'm like, this is unbelievable. And then you kind of go, okay, nice job, Sports Illustrated, whoever's idea it was, because you just don't think about them. Like, you wouldn't expect Sports Illustrated back then to do this. Now you're expecting everybody to do it.
Correct.
Right? Like, you're waiting for that next one to come about. But I think for me, that started when I was a kid, when I was like, okay, I'm not believing anything anybody says. That's part of it. But then also, you got to remember, you and I working in radio, and I hope this isn't something that we're disclosing to people who haven't figured it out by now, because if you haven't, you're an idiot. The War of the Roses crap that's been going on in radio land for years is completely and utterly fake. Most of the things that you hear on those morning radio shows are complete and utterly fake. People still buy into them. I don't understand. You know what I'm talking about, right? The War of the Roses stuff.
Remind me.
This is when somebody will call up and be like, I think my boyfriend's cheating.
Yeah. Those, the fakes.
Because he sent roses. He was, he sent it to this person. I saw it on his credit card bill or whatever it is. It's a fake story. They call it War of the Roses. And all it is that a guy sent roses to his secretary when he should have sent them to his wife. It's all fake. It's all made up. They're all actors. You can hear them in all various cities doing a little bit of a tweak of a different thing, but it's the same people. I don't know how people fall into this stuff and believe it. The only thing I can think of now is the caller reaction is also fake.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think a lot of people felt it because, honestly, you're the average person going to work. You listen to your morning show and just go, wow. And again, let's talk about the guy behind the curtain for people who don't know. I mean, back in the day, morning prep services.
Yep.
So ideas and concepts were mailed out, faxed back then.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a fax.
The night before, day before, to every morning show that subscribed. And so you could find the same bit going on in Spokane, Washington, and Iowa City, Iowa, and everywhere else, because they all subscribed to the service saying, hey, here's a great idea. Here's a concept to do in the morning. And so, the War of the Roses is kind of the same thing, just kind of an extension. So, yeah, it's all fake, people.
Yeah, I just remember Don and Mike, who we listened to here in D.C., and they were all over the country at one point. I just remember them reading off, like getting the facts that you talked about and be like, oh, here's what the prep service thought would be a good idea. Because remember, they would go down and list and be like, here's what the prep service thought was a good idea. Good topics to talk about. And they would try it and be like, no, these suck. This is a terrible idea. That kind of stuff. But I just remember the first couple times that I heard War of the Roses, I was like, this, you could just tell, like, first off, nobody is staying on the line. Like, if you screwed up and you sent roses to somebody that you weren't supposed to, or you made dinner reservations, as soon as they call up and they start badgering you, you're hanging up. You're not going to sit on the air and talk to them and then be like, hey, you know what? Can you hang out? We got to play this top hit from, Blink 182. Hold on through the song. We'll get right back to this. The hell you are? Click. You're not doing this.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just, even back in our day, it was just kind of bad. I mean, honestly, radio hasn't pulled off a good con job since War of the Worlds, and they weren't even trying to at that point. So that's the funny part, right? They just, they were just doing theater and people freaked out. So
yeah, that you want to talk about, I mean, it wasn't on April Fool's. You want to talk about one of the best that could be legendary. I mean, that would be legendary.
Yeah.
If they had done it on April 1st. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant to go back and listen to that War of the Worlds, which we may be headed towards. But did you have any other, were there any ones, I know you weren't on social media at all, but were there any other ones that you could think of either from yesterday or years past? Like you said, Syd Finch was an awesome one. What were some of the other ones that you remember?
Oh, there's a couple, but I mean, just going back to Syd Finch, I remember because 14, 15 years old, SI, Sports Illustrated subscriber, and I get this get the magazine and I'm reading the article and what in the world? Like we're, just blown away.
Yep.
And why am I blown away? Not because I'm necessarily 14 or 15, but as you said, it's Sports Illustrated. And I can't remember who the writer was, but I know is one of their
big
foundational writers, right? That you would not expect such trickery, chicanery to come from, right? It was, and you were just like, oh my goodness. And then it comes out obviously later on. So I think it's that position of authority.
It was George Plimpton.
Yep.
Yep.
I was trying to remember, it wasn't just some writer's name that they made up to make the joke work, right? It was someone like, oh my goodness. But I mean, going back, the other big one, I don't know if you remember this, was Taco Bell on April 1st back in 96. They bought all these ads in major newspapers across the country that they were buying the Liberty Bell and we're going to rename it the Taco Liberty Bell. The White House had to come out and say, no, this is, played along tongue in cheek, but so many people were upended that they thought it was real. But I mean,
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it was
I don't remember that one.
It was a big one, and people were calling the National Park Service and just outraged because it was kind of I think it was also going on when they were talking about possibly sponsorships, like early on for national parks for funding and stuff, right? So Taco Bell says, all right, let's run with this. Right.
That's a really good one because again, it's pre-social media, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, almost pre-internet. It's early internet. Would you say 96?
Yeah, 96.
It's early internet. Not everybody had internet at that point. So yeah, you couldn't just run to Google and is this true? Which is what you should do if you have any questions about it. Do a little research. It takes 30 seconds. The amount of time that you can type your outraged X post or Instagram or whatever else, you can actually look and save everybody a lot of time.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the fortunate thing in the world we live in. But then again, how many layers do you have to research to figure out what the truth is anymore?
Well,
right?
Fair.
Right. It might take you a couple times because obviously if you Google, depending on what's going on, they're just scraping off social media and other places. True. So they're not even verifying. So you might, I know when I Google, sometimes you get like the 4 or 5 like headline videos come up.
Right.
Well, if they're all referencing the same thing, the same hoax, you're kind of led to, oh, this might be real. But, a little bit more scraping through the depths to find out, oh, no, that's fake.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing like using like Chat GPT or any of those, what do they call them, large language models or whatever.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing. They don't have the answer. They're just scraping the internet for the answer because I honestly, so this weekend, I'm going to my mom's house for Easter because it's Easter. So I'm going to go see her. My sister and brother-in-law live right next door. It's a hell of a lot cheaper for me to go to his house. He actually has a lift in his garage. Mm-hmm. I'm going to change my oil while I'm over there, right? So I'm like, okay, I used to do this all the time back when I was a kid, like it saves you a ton of money. But I was like, some of these newer cars, it can be a real pain in the neck to get to the oil filter. So I went out, I popped my hood, and I'm looking, and I'm like, all right, I don't see it from here, so it must be, it's probably underneath. But just to make sure, I took a picture of the interior of my engine, like with the hood open. I took a picture and I plugged it into Chat GPT, and I said, if I were going to change my oil filter, where should I start looking from? Because I was like, draw me a circle, an arrow, whatever. Show me where I should be looking to find this. And I was assuming it would come back and say, you won't find it in this picture. It's underneath. What did it do? It placed the filter like the oil filter. It drew an oil filter.
I put it in.
It put it in. And it was like, well, it'd be here. And I'm like, how do I not see it? I'm like, am I in shadow? And I'm looking around. I'm like, and so I pulled up the picture side by side on my phone. And I was like, it literally just inserted, like, it doesn't go there. Like, that's not where this is. So I typed back in and said, that's not there. You placed that in the picture. That's not where this is. And it goes, you're right. Of course. What he's talking about, I'm right.
You just want to be helpful.
I have this. It has delusions all the time. When I use ChatGPT, I'll test it all the time about stuff that I know 100% is correct or not. And it just makes stuff up because it just wants to be right.
It wants to be right. And I would say the other thing I've learned.
You can't say, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it needs to be able to figure out. Is like, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. It'll make something up. And then when you push back, it'll say, you're right to push back on this. Yeah, because you're wrong.
I know there was a thing I was reading. I've seen it in people, it's going to be a science. It's all about the prompting. Like, and I'm not saying you did it wrong. It's just like, it was kind of reading like, where's the oil filter? And it kind of said, oh, it's here. And so the question is, did you put in, hey, this is and I don't even know what you drive.
Oh, yeah, no, I gave exactly all the stats. What it was. I said, this is the year, this is the engine model, this is the thing from the top, because originally when I had asked it, I said, because you always have to tell them, because sometimes they'll be like, well, I'm not sure, you should probably take it to the local, like you do that kind of stuff. But I said, I have extensive knowledge of how to change oil in vehicles, but I want to know where this is on and I put in the year, the make, the model, the engine type, everything else. And I took the picture and I even said, would I be better off getting under the car? And I said, draw an arrow to where I would find the oil filter. And I thought, okay, maybe they'll draw the arrow to like where you put the oil in.
Yeah.
It didn't have any other. No, it faked it and drew and actually like took a picture of the filter for somewhere else and just dropped it in the picture. And I'm like, that's not there. Like, it's not there. And then it said, yeah, you're right. It's underneath on the other side. I'm like, you're not even on the right side.
Did you ask it? Why did you do that?
Yes. I said,
and what was the response?
Where's my phone? Hold on.
I'm just curious now.
Is this? Anyway, do you have any, while I look this up,
well,
do you have any other good ones?
Yeah, I mean, the big one, and we wouldn't know much about it, but I thought it was kind of funny, was the first one was the BBC in 1957.
Okay.
They did the spaghetti tree prank. Because spaghetti was not a big deal in the UK in the 50s. So they did this whole actual setup that they were in Italy, and they showed this family pulling the spaghetti off the trees.
That's awesome.
And they said millions of people did not know, because spaghetti at the time in the UK came in cans already in the tomato sauce.
Oh, so it's like Chef Boyardee.
Yes. And so again, this is 1957. So they did it just to go, let's see if people figure this out. And eventually they did. But yeah, the spaghetti tree incident. So those are the kind of big three that I knew about. But the Syd Finch and the Taco Bell one were just those. I just will always remember those.
Obviously, Syd Finch, because I was like you. I got the magazine.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the Taco Bell one, which again I give them credit. That's pretty good. And the BBC one is really good.
Yeah.
All right. So here, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it necessarily, but let me. So this is the. Can you
picture
see
you
that at all?
Yeah, I can see it.
Let me see if I can get closer without my ring light being in
there.
Yep,
that's perfect. Yep.
That's the original picture.
Yep. I got to see this.
You don't see an oil filter anywhere there, do you?
Nope.
Okay. Here is what ChatGPT did after I asked it to locate the oil filter.
Put it in down there, huh?
It made it right there in the red circle. It said, oh, there it is. That's not in the original picture.
That horrifies me, because it's not that I didn't know, or maybe they drew an arrow in the wrong place. That's complete fabrication of,
yeah. So
look here.
there they are. I'm going to turn this away so it'll be a little bit darker real quick. But there's the two of them. You can see plainly. That's not there. It just inserted it. So then when I said, it even says, it's front facing, low on the engine, not up top. Yeah. Why did you put it there then? Like it's so. I wrote to it. I said, you totally just drew that in. That's not in the original picture. And it says, fair call. You're right. That was an overlay, not something actually visible in your original photo. My bad.
My bad. I was going to say that. Sorry, my bad.
What? And then it tells me it's mostly hidden from the top view. Well, yeah, why did you tell me that? So then I went through and it's trying to tell me all this stuff about where it is, and it's tucked behind this and everything. And I'm like, and then I didn't respond after that. I just stopped because I was like, you're lying.
We're done for now.
Yeah.
Hey, my question is where that picture is that they inserted it, not on the top side, but if
it's underneath, I think it's underneath.
It's like same spot zone, but just underneath.
No.
Okay.
It's on like that picture. As you looked at the engine, it was on the right.
Correct.
I think the actual filter is on the left.
So it's
I don't even think it's in the same area. I will when I do it this weekend, I will look to make sure. But I don't even think it's in the same area.
I mean, I'm not even trying to defend it, but it was just like, well, maybe it's there, but underneath, and they were just, trying to be helpful.
It's here, but you got to get underneath the car. No, it's not. That doesn't exist there.
I mean, can you imagine? So let's extrapolate this. I don't know. It's teaching surgery, or it's helping the transmission guy, and we're just making up pictures. Cut here, right?
Yeah,
this should be there.
Trust me, I did last a couple weeks ago. I was talking about fixing the dryer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know a little bit about home mechanics or whatever. And I've changed a belt on a dryer. I'm talking about a clothes dryer.
Yeah,
I've changed belts on clothes dryers. So when you open up the dryer, for those of you who don't know, there's not much to them. It's a big drum, a little motor at the bottom that runs the spindle or whatever that has a big giant belt that goes around the drum, and that's what spins the drum. I've changed that belt a couple of different times in dryers. I've opened them up. I'm familiar with how it is. So when this wasn't heating, I said, okay, it's a heating element. So I'm asking again, ChatGPT, like, hey, when I go to change this, what am I looking for? What do I need? And it gave me 2 or 3 different things. And I'm like, I know that's not it. And I mean, I again took pictures of it underneath, and I would say, which of these do I need to make sure, like fuses, whatever. And 2 or 3 times I said, oh, it's this. And I'm like, that's not it. Oh, you're right. Look at this one. And I'm like, no, that's not it either. That's the belt drive. That is not the heating element. Oh, yes, you're correct. Now I see it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's some things it's really good at. Most things it sucks.
Yeah. Well, God bless. Let's hope that NASA isn't relying on ChatGPT to get Artemis
for Artemis II.
For Artemis II to make the moon shot and back.
It's pretty cool.
The moon is here. Go this way.
Right. You want to loop around the back side of it. Before we get to Artemis, I do want to say I was disappointed yesterday, being April Fool's, that somebody had the nerve to say that Jonathan, the giant tortoise, had passed away at 193. You don't mess around with people's emotions like that. Because here's the thing. They had no way Jonathan's, I'm not going to say owner, but caretaker or whatever, isn't on X. So somebody had to literally get off, like contact them and be like, hey, they're saying Jonathan's dead. Is that true? Well, Jonathan lives on an island at St. Helena, which is I guess a British overseas territory in the South Atlantic, according to Wikipedia, which who knows if you can trust them or not. But anyway, so yeah, they put up on Instagram or X or whatever. It said, with a heavy heart, we say goodbye, and had pictures of him. And then somebody got a hold of the caretaker and was like, hey, Jonathan dead? And they went out and literally had to find him and be like, no, he's still alive. Like, why are you screwing with people that way? Luckily, I saw the final version of it where they said, hey, by the way, Jonathan the Tortoise is not dead.
And how old is he now?
He's 193.
God bless him.
I know. I'm like, who would dare? Like, if you want to lie about other creatures or other things, fine. Don't lie about Jonathan the Tortoise. He didn't do anything to anybody.
200 years.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I mean, they have pictures of him from before the Civil War, of him like meeting British, like the British, I guess, royalty being on that island or whatever it is, or wherever he was before they moved into the island. It's crazy. But anyway, good to know. In case you saw it, hopefully you didn't fall for it. Jonathan the Tortoise still alive. All right.
I hope they mark him safe on his Facebook page.
That's right. Now we can talk about Artemis.
Okay.
I was not taken aback, but I was sitting there. I've been outside doing yard work and everything, and then we got bad thunderstorms last night. So I'm sitting there, and Carrie's watching some TV show, and I came in to it late, so I don't know what's going on, and I'm like, I don't need to catch up on this. It looks like some true crime chick thing that I'm just gonna be like, oh, let me guess, the men are horrible and they've done all the things wrong. So I just started sitting there as I'm eating dinner and I'm scrolling and everything, and I see, oh my gosh, the launch is tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like watching, kind of, just watching it on X. People had videos. I missed it like by 4 minutes because people were like, this was amazing, and then everybody's got their videos of it. But pretty cool that we're not going back and landing on the moon with this one. I guess they're saying Artemis 4 in 2028 is the one that's supposed to land on the moon, but they're still headed to the moon. So all the people who said that we never went are now out there saying we're not going this time either. But it was cool to watch. I love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I knew it was coming. I was hoping, we were kind of in the zone. You might see it, but we were just too cloudy up here to catch the dot going across the sky. But yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's, the age of exploration that existed, actually not that long ago, of doing something just incredibly crazy, right? We're going to the moon, and we haven't, I think they said the last time a human was near the moon was 1972. So,
right.
Do your math on that. We had the shuttle, which was cool in itself, right? Send it to space, bring it back. Send it to space, bring it back, right? Reusable, not just rockets. And now we're, I guess part of all the moon exploration, they said we couldn't go back. We are going back, is probably so we can get to Mars at some point. Like we're starting to have that age of exploration again. And they talked about ice being on the southern pole of the moon. Anyway, you need that to make fuel, make oxygen, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why it makes a perfect base for Mars operations.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
They're going, and they're going to, you can look, everybody can look online to see, they're going to circle back behind the moon. They're going to go up and around and behind the moon. So for 30 to 50 minutes, zero contact. Is that the longest 30 to 50 minutes that they have on this trip where they're like, I certainly hope this is going the way it's supposed to go, but we have no way of talking to people on Earth at this point. And that's a perfect time for them to see a bunch of stuff on the backside of the moon that we won't be able to hear about because they won't have any way of communicating with us.
We'll have the answer to the dark side of the moon of Pink Floyd finally.
That's right.
No, I mean, that would be, I think if you're on the ship, you're probably less tense for that 30 or 50 minutes because you're doing things, right? You're in the mission in the moment. So it's just going to happen. Whereas I think the guys sitting back at Mission Control who are just sitting there watching screens and consoles, they're the ones probably pulling out the bottle of bourbon for that 30 or 50 minutes. Just kind of keep things, casual and calm till they come back online. So
I mean,
30, 50 minutes. Yeah, because it's only, I think it's like a minute or two when they do re-entry that they lose them. But usually at that point in modern technology, they have visuals. But
right.
yeah, 30, 50 minutes and they're on the backside of the moon. Yeah, that's going to be a tense hour, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've talked about the aliens and everything else. And if there is something out there, that's a great time for them to be like, no.
We're going to snatch
like, yeah,
snatch
exactly.
and grab.
Yeah, just be like
Interstellar Snatch and Grab. That might be the name of my new movie.
It's a great, I tell you what, it's a great album name for some punk rock band. I mean, that'd be a fantastic album cover. But I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm kind of joking about everything else, but I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that people continue to say, oh, we've seen this. So if they're out there, obviously have way better technology than we do because they're here, right? And so if you see, oh, these jokers are trying to get back to the moon or get to the moon for the first time, for those of you who don't believe we went there back in the late 60s and early 70s, it's fine. Believe what you want to believe. It'd be the perfect time to go and do a little astronaut snatching.
Yeah. Hold them for ransom. Wonder what we would do with that.
Well, I mean, what are they going to want in ransom?
I don't know. I was just, again,
what
screenplays in my head.
I mean, you're gonna hold it. But and the other thing is like, okay, so they snatch them up, but how do you? I mean, what are you gonna put them on a screen in your mothership and beam it back to Earth and be like, hey, by the way, we've got these 4. What do you want to do? We'd be like, keep them. As long as you don't come back down here, you can have them. You're good. You guys do whatever you want to do. We're fine.
Yeah.
That the whole thing with that, if the aliens are out there and they're already here, whatever it is, like the real deep conspiracy, and we can go down this road for a brief moment because it's kind of ridiculous, is that they've had contact already. The aliens have wanted to be able to experiment on people.
Ooh.
So the governments have said, hey, it's cool, but you can only take them from these particular, like if somebody is dumb enough to go wandering around in a national park and deep in the forest or whatever, and you snatch them up, that's on them. Yeah, that's on them. We can't have you coming into the city and just yanking people off the street. That's going to freak everybody out. If somebody goes missing because they went camping or canoeing down a river, it happens.
Plane goes missing over the Pacific.
Right. Exactly. I mean, these things happen all the time. But yeah, that's a big, again, you're talking deep conspiracy people that have said, oh, this is why so many people go missing in national parks, national forests, or whatever, is because that's where the aliens are allowed to snatch people up for their experiments. Again, I don't believe that, but that's one of the theories.
Well, I guess my question would be, so let's go with there are aliens and governments are talking to the aliens. So the question I'd have, because obviously they are greater beings, better technology because they got here, right?
Clearly.
Is, well, what do you need to know? Like, what experiment do you need to know? Because we can answer questions, right? So it'd have to be, what experiments do you need to complete? Like, share details. Just
like maybe it's DNA splicing.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, who knows? Who knows if they're
cloning?
Well, and who knows if they were us, however many thousands, hundreds of thousands of years ago that got off this rock and went somewhere else. And then for whatever reason, everything got destroyed and we have no knowledge of it. I mean, who knows? We found out more and more all the time that the pyramids aren't as old as the pyramids were said to be, and that they're not tombs. That was the original thing, right? When we were growing up as kids,
they were tombs.
Like, these were tombs. They're not tombs.
Yeah,
they've kind of come out and said that now, so we don't know how they get it to be so precise. They had tools way beyond what they should have had back then. I don't buy this. Oh, they had slaves. No, I don't buy that at all. There's something else to it.
You don't believe in the long timeliness of engineering concepts?
No. No, I don't. I don't believe they yanked 50-ton stones across the desert. No, I don't buy it.
But the other thing, again, I'll go down your theory. We were here, a certain group left, and now they're coming back thousands of years later, but obviously
hundreds of thousands of years.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
Again, they have greater technology, level of thinking, etc. Wouldn't that be like, growing up in Southside Chicago, winning the lottery? Do you drive the Bentley back down there?
I mean, some people do.
Hey, what's up? Or do you just, go by your home way out and stay out that way? Because no need to go back there.
It depends. I mean, the difference is in the South Side of Chicago, if you drive the Bentley, you can get jacked. You're not winning the lottery doesn't make you hundreds of thousands of years ahead of everybody else technology-wise.
True.
You're still at the mercy of their technology, which would be firearms. They're not at the mercy. If the aliens are here, they're not at the mercy of that. So
true.
I don't know. But I do know, I think it's pretty arrogant of us to be like, oh, we're the only ones there.
Yeah.
There's nothing else out there. We're the only ones in this big giant. I don't buy that necessarily either. But
yeah.
So Artemis, this is cool, and it's really cool for, like, we saw one of the videos of a young kid. It was like, this is the freaking moon, that he was talking to CNN. They're like, why are you out here? This is because we're going back to the freaking moon, man. So they have that moment. Of course, our boomer parents had that moment as well, whether they were already into their, mid-20s. I guess it would be mid-20s when we went to the moon, or younger. But we never got that. It skipped us entirely, except for the space shuttle. And again, if you want to throw out real conspiracies, I got a couple on the space shuttle as well. Okay. You remember the Challenger in 86, right?
Yep.
January of 86, Challenger blows up. We were off from school that day.
Yep.
At least for us in Fairfax County, I believe it was a teacher work day. Because I remember watching it at home because it happened during what would have been The Price is Right.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. And so I remember cooking lunch and going in there, and we're watching it. It's cool, and it blows up. Other people watched it while they were in school because, of course, they had the teacher that was on the flight. Christy McAuliffe, I believe, was her name. And they say that it was kind of like our JFK moment or whatever, where we, like, you lose your innocence because you're like, oh my God, I just watched people die on TV. Like, that was the whole thing, because they wheeled in on the cart, the big CRT TVs or whatever it was. And everybody all over the country watched it in their school. And they say, I mean, again, people that are in the conspiracy theories will say it was done on purpose to kind of show us this national trauma. So the people that were on that flight weren't actually on that flight. This goes deep. You want to go down a couple of rabbit holes?
Yeah.
Go look it up. Yeah, go look up Challenger astronauts still alive. You want to see some weird stuff. That will give you some weird stuff. I mean, I have to say, again, there are doppelgangers for everybody.
Yeah.
But it's pretty wild that they're like, oh, here's this person that was the captain or whatever, and here's what they're doing now. It's crazy. And if you go down too many rabbit holes, after about an hour, you're gonna be like, this guy's kind of making some sense here. This is crazy. I mean, it is wild that they found doppelgangers for a lot of the people that were on that flight, and that they're in, like, the scientific realm. And it's like, okay, this is crazy. Again, I don't necessarily believe that. I also think we went to the moon. So that's where I found it. But that was, to me, our kind of, I don't know, whatever you want to say, as far as, they have Artemis II, and I guess it'll be coming up even more. The space shuttle was our thing for space. I remember Skylab falling. Do you remember Skylab falling back to Earth?
Everybody was worried about where it's going to land. I remember
landed in Australia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect spot. Like, that's where the aliens go, right?
Right. Exactly.
No, right. We came along right after, the moon race. And then we get the shuttle. And I remember the first few times is, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
And then it just became normal. Like no one cared, right? We weren't going back to the moon. And yeah, we're sending up the shuttle and but there wasn't anything glorious to it. It wasn't that pushing the edges anymore. They put up the space station, ISS is up there now. But again, it's just kind of boring. It's not like new ground and we're doing something different. We're not catching that. And that's why I'm hoping with the Artemis program that we get back to that. Like we're pushing those edges. We're putting a base on the moon, just things like that will be different and get us to Mars. Probably, maybe not in our lifetime. Who knows? But right. We keep pushing those edges because I think, if you go back to Kennedy pushing for the space program, I mean, we were in a race with Russia, but it's forward thinking, like a real purpose bigger than just us. And I think that helps the country in general versus not having something like that.
Right.
I mean, I go back to the age of exploration. We look at there was different reasons, the UK, Belgium, Spain, they were all looking for the new world, but there was a purpose to it. Like it energized their societies because we're doing these things and we're really pushing and going out there and extending ourselves. I think we need to get back to that, and I think it'd be helpful. But we are supposedly in a newer space race with China because evidently they're working on their lunar landers and their suits and everything. But for all we know, they may already be there. Maybe that's what we're looking on the backside of the moon for.
I mean, maybe, but if you can't have conversations with the backside of the moon, it doesn't do you much good. If you can't have radio contact or anything else, so what good does it do you to have a base up there? I don't know. But that would be amazing if the next time we go up there and land on the moon, we're like, oh, look at this. There are a couple other flags here. Like what's been going on?
Well, if you, what was the show? For All Mankind on Apple Plus. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No.
So what happened was the Russians won the space race.
Okay.
But it goes further along about the moon and Mars. And it shows all the other countries involved. Like it's a reimagining of the whole space, and it's very interesting how it portrays out the building the bases. They have to work together, but they were shooting each other at one point on the moon. I mean, it's a very interesting, and it's not so much sci-fi because there's more drama to it and intensity, but it just kind of changes the nature of, like I said, the Russians won. Right. And now it's like all the countries on their own end up trying to get to the moon, do different things, and competing with each other.
So in this version, the German scientists went to Russia under their thing rather than coming here to the U.S.
If I remember
correctly, they did under Operation Paperclip with, was it Warner von Braun or whatever his name was that started NASA? That was a Nazi guy.
Yeah. So
that's
I mean,
it's our space program done by the Nazi rocketeers. It's great.
We stole them, right? We went and stole them.
Let them come over here. We were just like, yeah, better
bring
for
that
us
here
to have you guys than the Soviets to have you guys. That was kind of the thing.
Yeah, and now the dirty secret post World War II was we were all fighting to beat Germany, but we were still fighting each other to get right? Who's going to be first into Berlin? And I mean, was it Monuments Men when they're going to get the artwork because they didn't want the Russians? I mean, it's the whole race at the end to get as much as they could for each country involved. There was no like, hey, we beat the bad guys. Now it's right into what's mine. We got to get this. We got to get there first, and it's ours, and get those people out. So can't trust government.
No, that's the truest statement. 44 minutes into the episode, you just came up with the best statement of the entire thing. You cannot trust the government. So no, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. People that don't know, I mean, I would assume this is pretty common knowledge at this point, right? That we brought the Nazi scientists, the rocketeers. They were the ones that kind of started our space program or helped progress it along. I don't know that that's a big secret anymore.
No, it's not. I mean, they were the rocket guys. I mean, think about it. We're the U.S., but Germany was well ahead of us in terms of engineering for rockets. I mean, not only rockets, but they were using jet engines and planes before us. I mean, again, everyone was tinkering, right? Everyone kind of had their people that we think we can do this and that. But German engineering was well ahead. And so that was the big push, is to get that knowledge base extricated right after the war for use, like us. We used it to further our space program, our nuclear program, etc.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy to think about that, all that NASA stuff. And it's one of those things where you go, yeah, it worked out great. We got to the moon and everything else. Just don't pay attention to who the people were that got us there. And everything's fine. Just, it's good. I mean, look, they gave a lot of those guys new identities, new names, all that kind of stuff. They didn't have a choice, which is why it's always interesting. You don't find it so much anymore because most of these people have died. But I can remember back in the 80s, which would have been 40 years post World War II, that every once in a while, 60 Minutes would be like, we tracked down a Nazi, like it would be one of these people. He was in
Argentina.
Guard. Yeah. Or in the U.S., living in the U.S. They'd be like, this 70-year-old Nazi. It's like, what? But yeah, they were here. They just, some of them were able to make it to the U.S. at that point and became scientists and rocketeers and everything else in NASA.
Yeah. So, sorry. My drink got caught there in the throat.
You're good? I know you're getting all choked up thinking about those Nazis.
Well, I mean, there was people that had issue, especially with the rocket scientists. And to a certain point, you have to go, just because they were scientists over there with what was, they talk about today. The government is one thing. People doing research and other things completely different. It doesn't mean they were on board with some of the atrocities or anything. It's just they're the person that knew the information, and they just happened to live in Germany, and they were just happened to be used by the government for the government's ends at that point. So, I mean, some were easy to bring over for rocketry. Yes. Those that ran the camps and stuff, that most of those ended up down in South America hiding away, because I think, back then it was a haven of, if you want to disappear,
Argentina,
South America. Yeah. South America is the place to go.
Yeah. There's a big contingent of German, I guess you would call them expats or whatever, but there's a large German population in Argentina, larger than you would normally expect to be in Argentina. And a lot of that came from people scrambling after World War II. Now, whether you believe Hitler was one of them or not, that's a whole different thing. We don't have to necessarily get into that. But did you feel like when you watching the Challenger and everything else, did you feel I didn't get the whole group trauma thing that people have talked about. To me, it was like, oh, this sucks. This is a tragedy. But I never felt like, years later that, watching that scarred me in some way.
No. And I mean, no trauma. I mean, tragedy at the moment.
Yeah, of course.
And understanding, again, space travel is risky, right?
Yep.
And unfortunately, this is where I go down my rabbit hole for like Artemis II and stuff. We've prepped, we've planned, we've inspected. We're going to send you guys up in this thing. You're going to be gone for 10 days. And much like Apollo 13, we hope that there wasn't a bad seal or a wrong bolt somewhere that doesn't mean anything until this exact moment, somewhere way out there, that creates a problem for you to get home. That's the way I look at it, because things go wrong. And unfortunately, more so, a lot of people died in cars when we first invented them, right? Too fast, roll cages, seatbelts, and they still do. But we reasonably expect at this point, everything works as it should. Same thing with air travel, right? Generally everything works till it doesn't. And that small percentage doesn't. More so dangerous in space travel, right? Than say our car on the side of the highway. But I never had the trauma. No, it was just like, oh, that happened. But to be expected. I mean, it's going to happen.
No different than what Columbia was 2003 when it broke up on re-entry or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of like, hey, to me, I remember when that happened, and it was, again, tragic. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine. You finished your whole thing, you're coming in, and at the very last moment, everything goes completely disaster.
Yeah.
But my thing was, I'm like, I can remember thinking, like, I can't believe this hasn't happened already.
Correct.
Like, I mean, it was just kind of like, yeah, when you are messing with those kind of heat rates and everything else, I'm just surprised that this has never happened before.
Yeah. And I think, didn't they show after that, they'd gone back and looked at footage and realized that, not to point blame, but like they were razor thin close on other times for the same problem with the tiles. Like, oh, geez, we were this close. And then it finally happened, which, as they say, we only learn through failure. So, maybe they got the tile thing figured out. But yeah, I just don't remember it was just expected it to happen. I mean, back in the old days, ships would leave, they'd never come back.
Right.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
So there's always that chance when you take on these huge endeavors.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and that was one of those things that you just looked at, and I don't think it obviously didn't have the same impact as the Challenger did, because again, it was, I want to say like the 99th trip or something like that.
Yes.
The space shuttle. I mean, it had been going on for so long. It was 17 years after Challenger. And I mean, I know we waited a while before going up after Challenger, but they went back to it and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, and maybe it's because we weren't kids, we weren't teenagers. We were, 31 years old when this went down, or 32, whatever it was. But it didn't have the same impact. Like, I can remember exactly what I was doing when the Challenger happened. I remember hearing about Columbia, but I don't remember what, like, we weren't watching Columbia, like, re-entry. Like, it wasn't a thing. Like, you used to watch the space shuttle land.
Yes.
Like, at the very beginning, you would watch, and it was crazy to watch them come in and kind of glide. And usually it was out in California, one of the Air Force bases out there, I think, that they usually did it at.
Mm-hmm.
And you would watch it. And then after a while, you're like, yeah, of course it's going to land. I'm sure it was no different than when you watched an airplane land the first few times. And everybody's like, this is unbelievable. And then about the 18th, 19th, 20th time, you're probably like, yeah, I've seen this. I don't need to see it anymore.
Well, and that's why I was saying for us, for our parents, baby boomers, space was new and exciting and different, right?
Yeah.
And then for us, it almost, other than Challenger and that gap, I mean, it just became routine. Like,
right.
Oh, it's going up. It's scheduled flight service, right? Okay, shuttle's going up. Shuttle's going to circle the Earth. Shuttle's going to come back, right? It just became so routine that I think that's where, especially our age group, kind of lost the, okay. And so maybe, I've enjoyed watching, the Starlink when they say it's coming by, because sometimes we'll see those SpaceX rockets, if the weather's good and everything. I mean, it's just kind of fun. Like, I don't know, bringing that magic back, or certain nights you can watch the Starlink satellites run over. You see that whole, it's pretty interesting to see that chain of lights go by.
See, we can't get that here because we have too much light pollution.
Yeah. So we get that, this International Space Station sometimes. You can definitely see that roll by. So, and maybe it's bringing magic back for us. Maybe it's bringing it back for the next generation of, wow, this is pretty cool. I mean, like that kid said, we're going to the freaking moon. I mean, that's a different concept than before, where it's just, hey, we go up, we circle, we come back, right? We're doing something different this time that seems a little bit more grand, if you will, in terms of piquing people's interest.
The question is, because we've got 4K, 8K, you've got all the, unbelievable images that you can get. I think there are people that, unless you absolutely strap them in the rocket and take them to the moon themselves, are still going to be like, oh, look at this artifact here. This is AI generated. Like, I don't know how you're going to fight that. This is all AI. This is all AI. I mean, I already saw this morning, there are people like, there's not an astronaut there. They just fired 2 rockets into the air. Nobody's on that thing. Like, okay, really? We're going to do this less than 12 hours into the mission? This is what we're doing already? Like, can you at least let them fake them coming back home? Like, I don't know what to say.
Let them get through the scene.
Right. Yeah. Let them finish it off, and then you can decompress everything. Like I don't know.
This is the bad side of social media, right? Everyone gets their own soapbox now. So before you didn't, and now you get to stand up as soon as that rocket takes off and start going into it's fake, it's not real. See this, see that. We're Gen X. We just go, okay, whatever. You do your thing, I'll do mine, and just let it be.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is a lot of these people are probably Gen X, and we just go, yeah, you know what? We had these people around when we were young. You don't pay any attention to them. Like, yeah, it's the weird guy. He can go over
down
there
the street.
Yeah, it's just a strange guy down the street. You just nod and shake your head and go, yeah, man, I'm with you. It's crazy out there. That's the general reaction that you have to everything. It's like, well, it's gotten wild. I'm with you, man. You can't trust the government, like that person. It's like, yeah, I'm with you. You can't trust them. They'll do all this stuff. And in some cases, they're right. I mean, that's everything. But to me, this just let them get through the mission. Well, let them, when they get back, then you can be like, oh, look, they didn't come in off of this. Like, to me, when we watch them come land, right?
Yeah.
And then you see them get out of the rocket. Like, when did they put them in the rocket to re-enter?
Well, you're assuming it's the same rocket, Bill. I mean, that capsule that they're... honestly, I understand. I'm not even sure how they're coming back on this one. Are they landing it in the ocean like they did before?
I don't know.
See,
I don't know.
That just hit me. I'm like, hey, how are they getting back? Because they're not coming back on a shuttle to land on a runway.
No, they're moonshotting around the moon.
Yeah.
And then they say they don't even have a rocket for re-entry. They're doing the gravity pull.
Okay. So in a capsule just dropping, right? So for all we know, it's going to come out of a stealth bomber somewhere over the Indian Ocean.
Sure.
That's how they fake that.
You've got it all figured out.
B-52, drop it out of the belly.
Let's see. I just looked it up. Okay, I know what it is. I asked you where it's going to land.
Oh, you fighting with Chat GGP?
No, fighting with Bing.
Ooh, the Bing.
Yeah, Bing. I just said, where's Artemis II going to land? And it said, Artemis II will launch from Kennedy Space Center. It will involve I know that.
We understood that.
Where's Artemis II touching down?
Yeah.
On return. There we go. Maybe that'll help. The Pacific Ocean.
But does it say how they're coming back? Just capsule and parachutes?
It just says the Artemis II mission is set to touch down the Pacific Ocean after its return from orbit around the moon. The crew will conduct several tests before re-entering Earth's atmosphere at speeds of 25,000 miles per hour, and recovery teams will retrieve them from the ocean. Okay.
This will be fun. I want to watch that because, again, something different, a little less boring than just landing on a runway in the desert.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think they would have to drop you can't have the capsule drop on the land. You'd have to have a splash. They'd have to have a splashdown, right?
Well, no, Russia, they have. Here's the thing: the Russian capsules.
Do we trust the Russians?
Well, I mean, it's worked so far for them. The capsule comes down and it's got this long stick that hangs out the bottom. So then, when he gets to within a certain height, that stick hits the ground, sets off the explosives, and it's a reverse explosion. It still hits hard, but not like, slamming straight in.
It's like Elon Musk being able to grab those rockets back. That's unbelievable, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not people are like, no, that's fake.
No, it's not real.
It's not real. Okay, if they aren't, good on them for really good AI work or whatever it is. But either way, it's impressive. If it's real, it's crazy. If it's not real, even more impressive because they've been able to fake it and fool everybody. But I mean,
power of Elon.
That's wild. Yeah. That kind of stuff. But would you have any interest, say, in the next, 10, 15 years? We're near the end of our life anyway. If they started doing moon vacations, would you go on a moon tourist trip?
Maybe. Again, if you go back to For All Mankind, they did start a hotel and it didn't turn out well.
No.
So.
I just don't. I don't think I'd be able to handle the G forces and anything else at that. By the time you're 70, your bone density's down, everything else. You're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, there just comes a time when you just don't do those things. So
yeah, I mean,
probably won't be for us.
I went to Busch Gardens a couple of years ago, and when I was a kid, I loved roller coasters. I loved all that stuff. Man, I got done with the day of Busch Gardens, and I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I just felt beat up from all like the whiplash, everything. Now the rides were all great, loved it.
Sure.
But you got done, you're like, no, I think I'm done. I can't take the pound anymore. You forget, because it had been years since I had been to a amusement park and done all this stuff and everything else. And I was just like, you forget how much you're just yanked and thrown and pushed back and forth. And it's just like, yeah, if you're not ready for it, it's a young man's game. And it's like, man. So.
Oh, man. No, I can't even tell you the last time I went to an amusement park. The thought of it just makes me tired, honestly.
Yeah.
Just you describing it and me thinking about it, I'm just like, no, I don't want to walk around. I don't want to get thrown around. No, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun because it wasn't really crowded. We went, and it was actually midweek in like, I want to say July or August or something. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I was surprised. It wasn't that crowded. You'd have a long wait, because that was my thing. I'm like, I don't want to stand in the freaking sun and heat for a minute 30 ride. Like, why am I wasting 45 minutes to get 2 minutes of fun? Like this, that doesn't seem right. The balance is off, but it wasn't that crowded. So and maybe that was the other thing, is we were riding ride after ride after ride. So you didn't have a lot of recovery time between them. So you're getting slammed around and then go to the next one, get slammed around again. But it was fun. I was just like, I think I'm done. I think I've done it. I think I'm good. So anyway, all right, we're an hour in. Do you have any parting words for us, or is there anything we didn't get to that you wanted to get to?
Well, we've got Easter coming up. Not so much about Easter, but I wanted to frame it as the Easter egg hunt. Was that sort of like dodgeball, right? Because, hey, there was no rules. You were just out for yourself to get as many eggs as you could. If you only got one egg, went home crying, you went home crying. That's just how it was. And we kind of took that away. So, Yeah,
my, I mean, they're technically my cousins, but they call me their uncle. So I'll say my niece and nephew. They still, and I think they're 2nd and 5th grade or 3rd and 6th grade. I don't remember how old they are. Anyway, they're all going to be over at my mom's house on Sunday, which is where I'm headed again to change the oil in my car as well, as long as ChatGPT tells me exactly where everything is. They asked me, like, are you guys too old to do this? And they're like, no, we want to do it. So they're still all in.
All about the candy.
Well, the thing is, my mom puts like change. She has some plastic ones, and she'll put like a couple quarters in one. Quarters. I mean, they make out. They end up making like 8 to 10, 12 bucks.
Oh, wow.
All this. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know what my mom's doing. We never got money like that. And so every once in a while, you'll find one that has a $1 bill in it or whatever. I mean, do all that stuff. The funny thing is like, there have been times, because they'll count to make sure, did you get all of them? Like, they'll do the count of eggs. And we've come up short in the past and been like, I don't know. I don't know what happened to them. And then you'll find them months later or something. You'll run over with like a lawnmower. All of a sudden, there's plastic shell just getting splintered out everywhere. But yeah, so they'll do some Easter egg hunt this week. Obviously, you guys aren't doing any because you don't have young kids around you at all.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular meal that you're going to do, or is it just going to be another Sunday?
Well, I'm going to be at work, but typically she would cook, the standard ham and everything to go along with it. So
nice. Do you find, because it's Easter, that there's less activity going on as far as what you have to do as an EMT? For those people who are just maybe watching for the first time, Gary's an EMT up there in Central Maine. So he helps all the people that do really stupid things around the holidays sometimes. Do you find that Easter's a much more relaxed holiday than, say, I don't know, Arbor Day?
Yeah, it's definitely more relaxed. I mean, what we find holidays is people will not do stupid things, but we call it dealing with their ailments, because we're dealing with an older population here in Maine. So they either want to deal with it before, because they don't want to miss whatever Christmas Eve, or,
Right.
Or then immediately whenever psychologically it's done, like after Thanksgiving meal, or maybe after the Easter meal. Now it's, I've had this chest pain all morning, and I want to go to the hospital. And we're like, well, why didn't you call earlier? Well, we were having the meal. So that's how people are, right?
Oh, and you know what? That's kind of a main thing too. I'm not going to bother anybody. I'm not going to ruin anybody's day. That kind of stuff. That's a very much a main thing, I think.
Yeah. So that's the way it plays out. Kind of, it'd be early. I figured something will either be going on early in the morning or late afternoon, evening, because that's when we're going to deal with whatever the problem was that, we've been dealing with either for 6 hours or 3 weeks. That's the psychology of how it falls. So
not fun.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna have any crazy stuff going on though. Like
it's not like 4th of July.
It's not like 4th of July where you got all the drunk dummies that blow their fingers off holding firecrackers.
Nope, but you never know. I mean, maybe some guy dresses in a bunny suit gets attacked by the neighbor's dog. I don't know. Like, you can hold out hope for that kind of stuff to happen.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be a fun one.
Yeah.
If you get that. So
it would be.
All right. Very good. Well, I'm glad you got moved.
Yep.
I'm glad all that got taken care of. But you're right. I mean, our day and age of finding the Easter eggs, they would again, I think I remember being the plastic eggs, but you would just get the little tiny chocolate eggs, the little mini eggs inside of those plastic eggs.
Yeah, or jelly beans.
Or
jelly beans were the big ones for us.
Yeah. Yep, jelly beans where you get like 2 or 3 of them in there. You're like, great. So
and then usually for me, it was through church. And so there was always 1 or 2 like golden eggs out there that had something extra, I don't know, the bigger, like a certificate. So you'd end up with the big chocolate bunny as the prize for finding the golden egg, that kind of thing. So
nice.
But again, it was every man for himself. I mean, they would do little ones for the smaller kids.
Yeah.
But after a certain point, didn't matter if you were 6 or 15, you were all on your own, right?
Well, if you're 15, you probably shouldn't have been involved.
Well,
I mean, let's be honest.
Some people mature later. So, but yeah, it'd be every man for himself. And I remember participating and watching as I got older, just tear out and start running around, watch them pick up the easy finds, and then just start scrambling through trees and behind bushes. And unfortunately at church, there was a small cemetery, the original cemetery. So they'd be behind the headstones looking. Just funny. Funny.
Now, were you a hollow Easter chocolate bunny, or did you like the solid? Like if you had the ear and you broke it off, did you rather have it be hollow so it's easier to eat, or did you want the solid chocolate bunny?
No, I always preferred the hollow. And then growing up, for whatever reason, I always had reactions to dark chocolate, so all my bunnies had to be white bunnies.
Oh, okay.
For a while, and eventually stopped. But I know it does sound it, doesn't it? Only went for the white bunnies. But no, eventually I guess I grew out of whatever the reaction was. So.
Okay. Well, it could have been just the type of chocolate it was too.
Yeah.
I mean, so that makes sense. Yeah, I'll go to, like I said, I'll be at my mom's on Sunday, and I will come home. She'll be like, "Oh, I made your Easter basket," and it'll be like, okay, and it'll just be like, again, a bag of jelly beans and something else, and just be like, okay, I'm in my 50s. I don't really need this, so I'll bring it, and I'll end up giving it away something. And Carrie's going with her family.
Okay.
She's going to take her mom and dad over to her sister's house, so I won't be with them. I guarantee you my mom will have something for Carrie. My mom will have something for Carrie's daughter, and probably for her parents as well. So I'm going to come back with like all these random Easter things, because that's what my mom does.
Full of peeps?
So I don't know. You know what? I'm not opposed to a peep every now and then. I wouldn't eat they have them I wouldn't eat like they have them in the box of 8 or whatever, or 10 or whatever. I couldn't do a whole box, but if somebody had one, I'd eat a peep and be like, okay, I'm good until next year.
Right.
But I did see they had, because it's usually yellow or orange.
Orange.
I saw
yellow's the big one.
Yes. That's the OG Peep, I believe.
Yeah.
I saw they had a different flavor Peep when I was at, I don't know, CVS or something the other day, and I was like, oh, that's
I'm
kind of
sure.
interesting. And then, but then I don't remember what it was now.
Probably purple. I've seen that one.
Could have been. But what's the flavor?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they add something to it to give a little something, right? Because
purple. It's just a purple Peep.
That's what all brands do, right? We come out with new and exciting things to make you buy it. So purple, and
fair.
I'm sure there's a rainbow Peep out there somewhere, and yellow,
could be
pink.
Okay. Oh no, here it is. This is what it was. I remember this now. Peep's 2026 lineup features bold new flavors, including butterbeer, Sunny. I'm not done. Sunny D, Pop-Tarts frosted strawberry. That's the one that I saw.
Wow.
And chili lime mango.
I can't marshmallow. No, I just can't imagine.
Awful.
Like if I'm eating a Peep, I'm thinking of like super sweet, whatever it is. Like it could be grape, it could be just on the sweeter side. Yeah.
And I was like, that was the one that had me intrigued because I'm like, oh, I like a Pop-Tart every,
once in a while.
Once a year, twice a year, I'll Pop-Tart somewhere. So I was like, oh, that could be interesting, a Pop-Tart Peep. And I didn't buy it, but because I was like, I just want one. I don't want the whole package. Like I would throw the rest of it out.
I don't need the 30-pack.
No, I don't even need the 5-pack. That'd be right. Way too much. It'd be way too much. But yeah, so there'll be a variety of candy and other stuff that comes back with me to give to other people. I'll be like, I'm sorry, here's more stuff that my mom wanted to give to you. Do with it what you will.
Did you ever get the plastic baseball helmet basket?
Ooh,
I got that for like 2 or 3 years instead of the basket because I was older.
Yeah, it was no, because she had the baskets that she would just recycle and use year after year. So it's kind of like you had your Easter basket was the same as like your Christmas stocking. Like you don't get a new stocking every year. It's the same stocking you hang up year after year after year. So your basket, the actual container of your stuff that it came in, was the same year after year after year.
Well, that's because we didn't have Target back then.
Yeah, well, of course. You didn't need to redo it.
Redecorate every year with something new.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Let's get out of here. Call it a day.
All right.
Do you have any parting words for us before we end this?
No, just 28? April Fools reminds us that everything can be fake, but Artemis itself reminds us there are real things out there.
This concludes this episode of Gen X Men with Bill Rowland and Gary Dollarhite. Gen X Men is now off the air.
All right, there you go.